Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus, and today you might notice that the music's already way undergoing, it's like in the middle already, but that's because I've just been waiting for the coin flip. But yeah, today we are going to be playing against the wall of all teams, and you might see that I have something very goofy looking here, and why is that? Well, today's suggestion that I've decided to try out is playing with the worst abilities of our characters. And what does that mean? That means that for every single one of these characters I had to choose what the worst abilities were. So for the Crusader, I just figured out that Rally to the Flame, Holy Lance and Stunning Blow are definitely the best abilities, especially for a damage team, so I had to take the other four, which isn't too terrible because then I can also change out the Trinkets. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do one action before I actually just keep on chatting, or else I will lose the match. But yeah, we're gonna go for a flashbang on the Vestal. So yeah, the Crusader is gonna have the Writ of Execution and the Eagle Eye Talisman, which is pretty decent. You know, it's a lot of damage for that self-accusation and the smite, so he can still do a good job, but he doesn't have the heal, so it's not great. The Bounty Hunter, instead of having the Finish Him and having the Come Hither and the Mark for Death, Finish Him and Come Hither are definitely his best abilities. In terms of Mark for Death or Uppercut or even Caltrops, it's not too well defined, but considering this is a Mark team, I'd rather have Mark for Death over these two, so I just took it off, and yeah, I still have the same Trinkets because they're still both pretty nice, but yeah, it's just gonna work out that way. In terms of Trinkets, grappling mids for the pull, finish him still for the kills, even though we don't have to finish ability. For this Highman, this is when it gets weird, because I had the chance of bringing Jester or anything like that, but I just brought the Highman because I felt like I hadn't played a team like this in a while. It's pretty decent playing a Mark team with a Highman, at least I like it. Every now and then, that is. It's not one of the greatest ones, but if you do go against Rapace, you have kind of a nice matchup. Not if you're playing what I'm playing, though, because the Highman suffers the most from not having all his abilities. Obviously, Duelist Advance and Vendetta are his best ones, and then I'd say Point Blank Shot would probably be the next best. Grape Shot Blast is also really good, so I wasn't too sure which one of these I would take out, but honestly, if you'd have Point Blank Shot, a lot of people would be like, oh, but Point Blank Shot's his best ability, so yeah, I really don't know what to do in terms of that. Right now, I might still just go Bulwark of Light here, because the protection is nice against Holy Lands and against whatever shenanigans my opponent brings, and this match is gonna take a while, I can tell you that much already, because I have a very unoptimized damage team, and let's get to the final character, yeah. But in terms of Trinkets, Saruman's just gonna have Powder Flask, Eagle Eye Talisman, which is gonna give him a lot of damage for his Grape Shot Blast. Of course, I'm not gonna use Pistol Shot, it's garbage, it's the worst thing you could possibly do, even against Marked it sucks. So I'm definitely not going to use that. This is like the one ability I will never use in terms of these characters, because some of these secondary abilities are kind of okay, but some of them really suck, like Pistol Shot. In terms of the Arbalest, she also suffers a lot, because you lose the Flare, and you lose the Heal and the Sniper Shot. Those are definitely the best ones. Bola is also really good, but since it's a secondary ability, then yeah. Bola is the fourth best, so it still has to go in there. And I guess I don't have Flare. I have Suppressing Fire, I can do that. I also have Sniper's Mark. Sniper's Mark is okay, but in this matchup it's not very good, because I won't be doing that much damage anyway. I do have the Sniper's Mark here, and the Collect Bounty on the Bounty Hunter, so I can actually do some okay damage if I mark and then go Collect Bounty. So I do kind of have a reverse mark synergy. Instead of the Bounty Hunter marking for the Arbalest, it's the other way around. So the Arbalest instead, considering there's like at least 60% protection on my opponent's side, like there's no world where I would win this otherwise. But I will say, I might actually have a better matchup playing what I'm playing than the matchup I would have if I wasn't playing this these shenanigans, because if I was just playing with pure damage, how would I break through minimum 60% protection? Like, that's minimum 60% protection, and two healing characters, one of them being a very good healer. I don't think I would break through, but now since I have stress, I can actually break through. It's really funny. So yeah, we're gonna drop this on that Crusader. One good thing about having Piercing Quarrel is that it actually works on Suppressing Fire. So in terms of her trinkets, we just have Exotic Snuff and Piercing Quarrel. It's like pretty standard setup. I wanted to bring her breastplate and the piercing quarrel, but you know, since you don't have to heal, well, why would you bring the breastplate? For the protection and the minus stress taken, but overall this is just better. Well, since they don't have pulls, snuff is still going to be useless, but oh well. Actually, I do not have any heals, I just realized. Yeah, this is not looking too good since I don't have a single heal. I will have to deal with that somehow. Yes, I will, in fact. I will just drop a caltrips here. Hopefully they don't clear it. Hopefully it applies on everyone. Oh, it doesn't apply on the Crusader. That's sad. This does make them take a little more stress, so I will take it. Yeah, not having a single heal here does kind of suck. Yeah, if I had like a stress variation of this team that still had its healing, like this would be a really good matchup, but considering I don't have any healing, it's not fantastic. No, not at all. Because once my characters drop to death's door, they are gonna stay at death's door. Like, there's no way for me to take them out of there. And that finality is something you should really avoid. You should have some healing, always some sort of healing. Even if it's just your Crusader with Rally to the Flame. Always bring at the very least one heal. The more heals you have, the better, right? So my Bounty Hunter is down to death's door, and what I'm gonna do here is just pretty much use my final action. Flashbang can't even work against position 1. Well, you know what can work? Let's go for the uppercut. Oh, it didn't work. Well, that is snuff, so that is a very valuable snuff turn right there. Did Numcookie really go withstand revenge rounds 1 and 2? Yeah, they did. Look at this protection. Jesus. Okay, here comes the Zealous with the immediate death blow. Alright, I'm getting punished very quickly. And I think I will just go for a Grapeshot Blast here. We might do enough stress because of the extra stress taken over there. I do 0 damage, but I do a decent amount of stress, so let's go. There is an Abusive on that Man-at-Arms. Oh, that is really good. Abusive can hit the other characters and stun them. With Veteran's Gauntlet, the stun chance is even higher, so they can't even resist the stun that well. Yeah, that could come in very clutch right now. Veteran's Gauntlet is already a bad trinket, but considering that the Man-at-Arms, when he goes Abusive, Paranoid, or Irrational, has a chance of hitting other characters and stunning them, it makes Veteran's Gauntlet even more dangerous, right? Right now, I could just drop another Suppressing Fire, but yeah, let's drop the Zealous Accusation. Oh, that might be an Affliction right there. Yes, it is indeed. We are almost at 3 Afflictions on my opponent's side, and we're not doing a lot of damage, but we could start doing some damage if I do decide to go for the Open Vein. But the problem with that is that I don't really have good bleed chance. I didn't take a bleed chance trinket, so yeah. I would have taken the parrying dagger, but with the parrying dagger I wouldn't be able to use the parry, because Duelist Advance is actually a good move. Oh, okay. Abusive and damage buffs. Oh boy. Yeah, this is not good actually. How much do you think it's gonna hurt? Maybe like... I have 25 prot, maybe it doesn't hurt that much. I'm gonna go for it once. Yeah, it only hurts for 6, there's no shield spike, so it's not that scary. Right, but Abusive is plus 20% damage, keep that in mind. I'd have to say 6 was a very low roll there. Maybe 5 was min, maybe it's like 5 to 10 and the crit is like 13. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, because I do have 25 pro. 25 pro is quite a bit. The Crusader has even more. He has 50. He has 50, but he still took a big hit to the face. Right now, I'm gonna drop a Grapeshot Blast here. Please don't hurt me too much, Riposte. Yeah, it does 6 again. The Riposte really isn't doing too much. But that is permanent damage. And my characters are not going to be able to heal that little bit of damage away, so it is still good for my opponent. But I just have to go for this, right? I have to go for it. There's nothing else better for me to do. I can't preemptive heal with my Arbalest. I can't go for like a flare. I can't go for a sniper shot because I don't have it. Blind fire is garbage. I think I'm gonna use blind fire right now. That's just a little bit of stress. Wow, only 3? How does he do only 3? That crit is kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world. And now I can no longer use the Zealous Accusation that well, but I can use Suppressing Fire again, so let's take it. Maybe we get an Affliction onto that Vestal as well, that would be nice. How did he only do 3 stress is my question. Huh. I'm not sure. Oh, because he has minus stress dealt, right? He has minus stress dealt, so the act outs make him do less stress. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that is funny. It's not every day that you see that. Yeah, usually when you play against stress teams, that's the minus stress dealt is a very good thing because they are doing less stress with their abilities and you're doing more stress to them, right? But yeah, I still think dropping a Zealous here is the play. Yeah, the repulse only hurts for 3. It's a joke. It is a joke. If you want to use repulse, you really need shield spike, or else it just tickles. But you know, it might tickle, but it's gonna tickle me to death, because I can't heal. I cannot heal. But in terms of characters, things are not looking great for Namcookie, and I still have a good amount of HP here. So I think I'm on the way to victory, I will say. That stun Vestal is getting very annoying, because she keeps getting that stun. It's a 100% chance, because Powder Flask has minus stun resistance. Yeah, minus stun resistance is so much fun. I would love to Grape Shot here, but I'm just gonna drop a Suppressing Fire, make that Crusader do a little, take a little more stress, I mean. And after this, I will have to waste Zealous onto that Man-at-Arms. Sadly, when you drop a Zealous, the riposte is gonna hurt you, but still with the full damage. Because even with the heart attack, Namcookie just says, Jesus Christ, I don't know why. I think they're having a hard time with this match. But yeah. Oh, the move back with the Leper. Oh, that might be a lot of lag actually. Maybe they clicked and then... Oh, okay, that's a lot of damage. Maybe they clicked, moved back, and only like 5 seconds later did it show me, right? That might have been it. But Leper moving back here is really bad, because now Crusader can't really Holy Lance that well. The Man-at-Arms just has to go back. And yeah, I am at this door here, so if I go Zealous, I might just eat it. But, I mean, what else will I do? I have to Zealous, please. Okay, I stay alive, at least for one turn. Yeah, so you can see that the riposte still hurts with the full damage and the full accuracy of not being at this door, even if you can't heart attack, because the heart attack is after the riposte. If you do hit a character to this door, the riposte will be a lot weaker. But if you do hit a character's heart attack, the riposte will still be just as strong for that singular riposte. Now the Man-at-Arms, he's definitely gonna go for the death blow. Oh, that's a hit. Yeah, that's a hit. You gotta be kidding me, man. That was a 95% stun chance. I'm not even joking. That was a 95% stun chance. She has 25% resistance. He has plus 20% stun chance on his skill, and didn't get the stun. Oh yeah, yeah, that is gonna screw me over. That is really gonna screw me over now. Oh, and I get daze too. Yeah, the daze was confirmed, but well, at least he's alive. I can't really complain. He might, if he stays alive for a little more actions, maybe like. Actually, I don't have Holy Lance, but the course might go. No, this Crusader's done. He's completely done. But please stop getting lucky. That's horrible. He moves forward. Well, I guess that's kind of a Holy Lance. Yeah. Alright, that's not bad. That's not too bad for us. But yeah, that Vestal resisting the stun is just nasty. So freaking nasty. Here goes a heal on the Leper, probably to keep him alive for a bit, I'd say. I do still have extra stun resistance. Yeah, I'm gonna drop a Grape Shot. I just need some chaos here with the act-outs and all that. I really need some chaos to happen soon. I really need some act-outs like passes, refusing heals. Well, Abusive doesn't refuse heals, but heals not going through, stuff like that. Abusive getting stuns, that would be nice too. Okay, here comes Retribution, misses, nice. No accuracy buffs on that, so it does miss. And here comes the Suppressing Fire. You gotta be kidding me. You cannot say you gotta be kidding me. I failed a 95% stun. You cannot complain. Yeah, I failed a 95%. I'm just sending them a message there. And there is a heart attack on the Leper. So maybe with the Rational you get some self-oofs, or maybe with the Vestal the heal gets refused or something. I'm not sure. Ooh, Dazzling Light. Greedy, a bit greedy. But that is gonna make use of that Crusader action. Considering that he does get an action, because he's selfish, so something bad could happen here. Alright. Leper, move forward. Irrational could move forward, that would be quite bad. What do I want to do with my Crusader, though, is the question. Do I want to just... Yeah, no, stress heal won't do anything. I gotta just move forward. Imagine if I had Rally to the Flame. Just one ability would have completely changed the match. Not because it's the most fantastic ability, but because it's just a heal, right? If I had one heal, this match would be so much better for me. But I think doing that is gonna get rid of the leper here. Unless... Okay, no, it's just to move forward. The act out? I don't know what the act out did, honestly. I have no idea what the act out did. But now we should do enough stress. Yeah, we do just enough. And that is goodbye to the leper. Numcookie says that they may have made a misplay. Well, technically, letting the leper die is pretty bad, but he was probably gonna die anyway, even if they healed. And they only healed for 4. If they only healed for 4 with the Crusader, it probably wouldn't be enough to save him, because Grape Shot might have done enough damage, so yeah. There's that. I do have plus 20, no actually plus 30% damage on that Grape Shot, so it is hurting quite a bit. Imagine if I had Vendetta on top, it would be so good, so freaking good. Yeah, no Vendettas for anyone. It's probably gonna be a... Oh, a Dazzling Light there? No, that's gotta be a throw. You have heals, you can make use of them. You can make use of the heals, make your team almost immortal to what I have to offer. But yeah, here comes the death onto that Crusader. Probably some extra stress on the man-at-arms. He's gone, they're falling like dominoes, and the wall is crumbling. The wall is getting destroyed brick by brick. Yeah, Jesus Christ, my wall, they say. And I don't think they can win this one anymore. It would be very difficult, because thankfully I do have frontline abilities with the Arbalist. Even Blind Fire can work as a last ditch ability. And look, Exotic Snuff actually paid off. Yeah, you can see it actually paid off. Right now I could Suppressing Fire, or I could just go Blind Fire, and you might be wondering, oh, but Shep, you'll just hit the corpse. No, you won't. You won't hit at all, because it has 80 accuracy. Yeah, but one good thing about Blind Fire is that it actually doesn't target corpses despite being ranged character random. I don't know how that works, because, you know, if it's random it could hit any single one of them. It doesn't make any sense, but it's good. It's good that that actually happens. I'm gonna use Grape Shot. I'm gonna use Pistol Shot here, not because it's a good ability, but it's because it's the best thing I can use. And you can see it's doing 5 damage. Yeah, it's so bad. If there was a mark on there, do you know how much damage it would do? Like 9, maybe 10 if you were lucky. It would do that amount of damage. It's not like gonna double the damage or anything. It doesn't. It's just terrible character. That's with 2 damage trinkets, by the way. It's doing like 9. On a max roll, just because of 35% prot. 35% prot is nothing. That's literally nothing. That's just a Man-at-Arms with Pitfighter's Helm or something. You know, or a Crusader with Pitfighter's Helm. Alright, this time I'm gonna use Suppressing Fire, because she's dropping to 0 anyway. And that is some nice stress on her too. That is some very nice stress. Alright. Yeah, Vestal, eventually you're gonna come to the front. You're gonna try being a bonk Vestal, but you're not gonna survive. I don't think there's any way you can win this. So let's skip on to the end of this victory with the worst Trinkets team. And that was a GG with the Wicked Slide, so the Vessel just did the slip and slide to position 1 after all the corpses were gone. And we will try this again with a different team, see how bad the Trinkets can get on different characters. Alright, and here we go for a match number 2. So this time around, we're playing Flagellant Man-at-Arms Plague Doctor Occultist, so typically more of a stress team, with a weird Plague Doctor here. I will say that if I had the Abomination, this challenge would be very unfair, because the Abomination can use all his abilities, right? But we are gonna start off with our... what the hell are we playing against? We are gonna start off with our Man-at-Arms term with a Retribution onto this Plague Doctor, because I think that's the best thing I can do right now to have some counters. So, but wait, Retribution, that's a good ability. What the hell, Shep? Yes, it is, but we'll get there. So, in terms of Flagellant, I think Flagellant, Exsanguinate, and Redeem are his best abilities, and then I had to choose between Punish and Reign of Sorrows to take out. I honestly think I did a little bit of a mistake. I should have taken out Punish and left Reign of Sorrows, because Punish is kind of a must-have. It's just that Reign of Sorrows is typically stronger when you actually use it, but Punish is a must-have if you're the last character alive. But we have Punish anyway. So there was an Emboldening Vapors on the Hellion of all characters. And right now we are just gonna drop a blinding gas here. We'll get into what the Plague Doctor is actually up to. She's up to failing both debuffs, but that's okay, at least we did the stress. So yeah, in terms of the men-at-arms, his best abilities are definitely Bellow, Command, and Bolster. Those are definitely his best abilities, and I'd say after that the Guard. So Retribution still isn't up there. Retribution is a nice ability depending on the matchup, but I think the other ones are just so much better for most teams and most matchups. That, I mean, Command's amazing, Bolster's amazing, Bellow's really good at the debuffs, Guard can be game-changing depending on what team you're playing against, depending what the situation is. And yeah, Retribution is just a really good ability if there's a pass, but it's an ability you're not always going to bring, because this setup works against some teams, it really doesn't work against others. So yeah, in terms of the Occultist, it's kind of a weird one here. Now what I could do is right now I could be a complete asshole and just go Weakening Curse on the Hellion and make her do 0 damage, but I don't want to do that. You know, if you see someone going for something silly, like going full damage Hellion, don't debuff their damage, even if you have Bellow, even if you have stuff like that. Like, that's just gonna make the person feel sad, and I know your objective is to win, but if you're playing in something that's weird, then you don't need to win any harder than what you're already winning, right? Just go for another move that's almost as good or just as good. So yeah, the Occultist is going to have Weakening Curse, which is a very nice move. Weird Reconstruction, which a lot of people are going to give me hate for, because I think it's a decent move, but it's not the best one. The best ones are by far Abyssal Artillery and Demon's Pull, and then after that you have Stitch and Embrace, because it's a really nice move. And then I would probably say Weakening Curse, because you need that last move. And then the worst ones are definitely Stab and Vulnerability Hex, and only then do you get Weird Reconstruction. So my Flagellant is just going to drop a Punish on that Plague Doctor, but sadly he misses. He's the one that's getting focused down, so I would use my Exsanguinate and my Redeem, but I don't have it, sadly. I brought the wrong skill for the Shieldbreaker, damn it. Shieldbreaker has the wrong skill, apparently. I don't know, those skills look fine to me. Maybe she wanted a Captivate? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, the Man-at-Arms here is gonna go Crush. I'm not too sure what to do. So yeah, in terms of Plague Doctor abilities, our best ones are easily Battlefield Medicine, Plague Grenade, then you have Emboldening Vapors, and then her next best one is Noxious Blast, so I just brought these ones. What I am gonna go for here is just another Blinding Gas to hopefully do some more stress. She does have a plus 19 accuracy here, so Blinding Gas is surprisingly low accuracy, so you do need a lot of plus accuracy if you actually want to hit your opponent with that. So yeah, in terms of trinkets, we're doing just fine. We have Gauntlet of Absolution, Spiked Bat. Thankfully, you don't need to bring garbage trinkets as well as garbage abilities, or else this would be impossible. So yeah, at the very least, we do have the trinkets going for us. I could just drop a Crush on her. Yeah, that is an idea. Because she's trying to be aggressive, so taking her out is not a bad idea at all, especially considering the Plague Doctor is kind of useless. Yeah, let's do some damage to that Grave Robber. It's not really doing much. I'd much rather have like a command here, because if I had the team as it usually is, we would be able to just, well, we would be able to play Grenade and Abyssal Artillery, but of course the Shieldbreaker's here, so she's just gonna go Puncture, Puncture, and my characters are gonna have a terrible time. But the Hellion right now has plus 95% damage, plus a lot of crit chance, but she doesn't get a single crit. She does hurt quite a bit. I will give her that. She did hurt me quite a bunch. There is a lunge on that Grave Robber, so oh, and she has plus damage for melee chance skills. I really don't want to get down to 0. Not a single one, yeah. And that's why Weird Reconstruction can be kind of good. That is a massive heal, 23. That's almost a max roll, and no bleed either, despite the 5% bleed resistance. Jeez. Good job, Flagellant. Good job, Occultist. You just put the Flagellant back to pretty much his full health amount, which is what he should do with an Exsanguinate, but he doesn't have them for today. Yeah, if we do get dropped down to 0, it's not too bad, because we can just drop a Reclaim and then die and heal the other characters, but I don't want to die that fast. That's kind of the thing here. I want the Flagellant to stay alive for as long as possible, so I can keep outputting stress and damage onto my opponent's side. I could drop a Reclaim here, and I will drop a Reclaim because I don't want the Plague Doctor to die that quick. I want her to stay alive for a little bit, because right now if there's a Panic Dart and it does 6, magically. If it magically does 6 on my Plague Doctor, I will be alright. So we take damage down to 16, and right now some people would go just, hey, click, exsanguinate. I don't have to. I'm gonna keep the pressure on my Flagellant. You can't hurt the Flagellant right now, because what happens is you hurt him, he drops down to 0, but then I click, then the DOT doesn't matter at all, and you just wasted an action doing damage to him, and my heal will be much more effective after that, because you won't have that action. But instead of that, yeah, I'm just gonna go for the Retribution. I will go Retribution on the Grave Robber, but do I really not have a single accuracy buff? Yeah, I didn't bring Emboldening Vapors. I think Emboldening Vapors is a good move. That's what the Plague Doctor is usually there for. She just drops Emboldening Vapors twice and dies. But even with her, like, even if you consider as a character it isn't there to drop Emboldening Vapors twice and die, even if she doesn't really have massive synergy for the Emboldening Vapors, like Higher Man or Trapasser or something like that, I still think it's a very nice ability. Now, one thing I could do here, which would be a little bit greedy, would be to go for a heal before I do anything else, but considering that the Grave Robber already used her turn, and considering that I think I might stay alive here for a little bit, I'm instead gonna drop a Punish, and then I'm gonna go for a heal if I survive. I might not survive here, which would be sad, but I want to. Of course, there isn't as much value as dropping a heal right now, because for one, it could do 0, and even if it didn't do enough for healing the Flagellant to like 20 HP, so to the point that I would not take enough DOT down to Death Star, what would happen is if I drop to Death Star again, I wouldn't heal the other characters, because I've already healed them once. I already healed all the other characters once this turn, so doing that again wouldn't really accomplish anything at all for me, so I'll just drop the heal now after I survived that death blow, because I was at Death Star, I had to use my action, right? So even if I healed, I would always have to use my action and go back down to Death Star. So this way it's just overall a little bit better for me. I could drop a Noxious Blast here on the Grave Robber, and I will. That is doing some very decent blight damage to her. She can't really clear it apart from the Battlefield Medicine, so that's good. My opponent doesn't have a lot of heals this time around, which I'm happy about, and I do have a lot of heals this time around. I do have Reconstruction, which is just an infinite heal. So maybe in this specific situation, having Stygian Embrace would be worse than having the weird Reconstruction, but overall I think Stygian Embrace is... Whoa, I didn't see that! Oh, I was looking at the abilities, but yeah, she got 1 crit on that. I think that now that she has a crit, you really have to... You could just start getting bleeds on people, and then you do way more damage than what you're actually doing. But yeah, she doesn't have that going for her. Right now would be a perfect turn, like perfect to just click and go for a big heal with like Redeem or something. But oh, that is a max heal from this occultist. You know, when you want Weird Reconstruction to work, when you say like, oh, I like the Slot Machine ability, I very much like it, I use it and, you know, it works out most of the time. If you say that, next time you use it, you're gonna heal for 0. Yeah, Nomcookie just says, how the hell do you do that much? Yeah, I just get very lucky. I get a 23, followed by a 7, which, you know, meh, it's an okay heal, it's like an Arbos heal, followed by a crit 48, which literally could not be any bigger than that. That's getting a 5% into getting a 12%. That's a pass. Yeah, that's a pass. That's okay, I will pass myself as well. But I'm gonna be smart about it. I'm gonna pass with my Men-at-Arms, which is a turn that wouldn't matter too much anyway. So I am kind of cheating here, just a little bit. I prefer my Plague Doctor action to my Men-at-Arms action, so yeah, I do pass after my opponent passes, especially if it's just a chill match, you know, just casually having fun. But I will sometimes choose which character to pass. Not pass like, oh, you passed the Crusader, so I'll pass the Crusader. Well, it depends on what we're doing. I do manage to resist that blight there, which is quite good, and it does have quite a lot of justice resisting the blight, considering that we have 70% blight resistance. And right now, I will drop something that's a little bit of a waste. We are wasting a good amount of stress doing this, but the Plague Doctor, I mean the Grave Robber, will now drop to 0 and be afflicted as well, and she's abusive too. So you can say goodbye to any shred of dodge she had left. She will still get 20 dodge when she does stealth herself, but hopefully that won't change too much here. Yeah. So the Grave Robber, she might be going for a pick to the face and then breakthrough, but I guess not. She's just gonna go for the stealth. Well, does keep her alive for a bit, but it is also gonna make it, so I can now finally punish this Hellion and do almost enough damage to drop her down to 0. I can't really complain because I got the hit and the bleed and a very high roll. But yeah, she's almost at 0, just so close with no cigar. And the reason she has 8 bleed was because Shield Spike was actually applying bleeds on her from the past. So yeah, here comes the Wicked Hack, and I just heal the other characters, and here's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna click the Occultist, I'm gonna heal the Flagellant again, get another crit 48. I don't need it to be that big, it can just be, yeah, a 9 heal is more than enough. And now, if you hit my Flagellant, he heals the other characters again, because it's round 5, it's the round 5 heal, and then I'll still be able to use my action. Normally I'd still be able to click, use Exsanguinate, and just be super happy here. So Weird Reconstruction and Rally to the Flame are abilities that synergize really well with Flagellant, like really well. And look at that crit heal, so much value doing that. Yeah, of course, if I was playing with all the abilities, instead of trying to be funny and healing the Flagellant and just prolonging my heals and prolonging my opponent's misery, instead of that, I would, that sucks, but it's okay. Instead of that, I would be spamming Abyssal Artillery and I'd be healing myself with Redeems and Exsanguinates. And this match would have been over, like, now, because Abyssal Artillery just does that much stress with Fleshbound Grimoire. But playing like this is pretty funny too. And now he's gone, most likely. Yeah, there he goes. There wasn't really anything else I could have done apart from guarding, but keep in mind that with Cloak and Dagger, it does bypass guard while you are stealth, so that wouldn't really have accomplished too much for me. And right now I will just drop a Retribution here, not a death blow, but it is a Death Sword check, and we are getting pretty close to taking out the character. Even if there's a heal from the Plague Doctor right now, I still have Noxious Blast, which will probably drop her down to 0. I think I do 2 to 3 damage. I might do a little less because I've been dropped to Death Star. No, I still do 2 to 3, so yeah, we don't do quite enough. And we don't get the Blight either, despite Volatile Concoction and Affliction. But we will still be able to take her out. And the stress is good as well, of course. Yeah, the stress is really helping us out. And I will have another Death Blow chance on that Hellion, unless she goes Adrenaline Rush, which she does. Quite smart to do that as well. So I'm just gonna click, I'm gonna drop a Noxious Blast on this Grave Robber. I don't want her to be out of Death's Door and no Blight on her. I don't think that's too cool. So I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna enjoy myself. I think that the Occultist should be able to do enough damage. This was probably a misplay. I should have gone for the Weakening Curse first, and then I should have gone for the... Oh, she's just gonna Shadow Fate here. Yeah, and then I should have gone for the Noxious Blast, because then she would still drop to 0 even after the heal. Like, guaranteed. I wouldn't have to do 3 damage. Yeah, instead of that, she's just gonna move back with Stealth and no Abyssal Artillery. God, I wish I had Abyssal Artillery. It's such a good move. Yeah, instead of that, we are just gonna drop a nice little Rampart on this Hellion, which is gonna activate her Breakthrough, but it's also gonna put her at Death's Door, and it's still gonna have her Pulse on our side, so if she does decide to go for a Breakthrough right now, that's very suicidal of her, so I don't think she will. So here comes a Puncture onto the Plague Doctor. Not the end of the world, I still have Incision. I'm gonna use Incision for the kills. And right now I can either go for the kill with Weakening Curse or Vulnerability Hex. Vulnerability Hex will reduce dodge down to 0, so I'm actually gonna do that. You know, there's a debuff resistance, but I think that would be smart because she can get a dodge affliction, which she did, and the Plague Doctor's accuracy sucks with Incision, so having a confirmed hit chance as well as with the Retribution I think was definitely smart here. And of course, being at Death's Door and being afflicted, Numcookie just says I might regret this. Yeah, I know what you're going for, you might regret it. Oh, just a Wicked Hack. 26 damage. Ouch, that hurts way more than I thought it would. You're at Death's Door with Selfish, so that's minus 35% damage, and you still do 26. That had to be a max roll. Yeah, that had to be a max roll. She usually does 9 to 17, I believe. So 9 to 17 with plus 50% plus 30. 30 is getting countered, right? Yeah, that had to be a max roll like this. That's the only way. I don't see this happening any other way. I could go for a heal right now. I could indeed go for a heal. And guard doesn't work because there's puncture. Guard is never gonna work, so yeah, it's not a great ability this match. Weed reconstruction could work, but I think getting kills here is what I need. I don't do enough damage, sadly. Oh, I was really hoping I would do enough damage there. Maybe I should have used my Plague Doctor action before I die, but I wanted to go for some tempo. I really wanted to go for some tempo. Just drop her down to 0, make my opponent heal, then drop her down to 0 again, and just take it from there. But now my Plague Doctor is gone. I definitely misplayed there quite a bit. She's gone with a crit, which is bad as well, because now my occultist is in harm's way. And yeah, this match is being a little bit of a throw here. I will admit it. But we do get the kill on the Grave Robber, so that's good. At least we do have that going for us. And now even if the Plague Doctor heals, as long as I get a crit with the Weakening Curse, I will be able to kill that Hellion immediately, and I would absolutely love that, just taking her out. And then after that I still have the Porcupine Men-at-Arms. And the Porcupine Men-at-Arms usually loses the match at the end. And why does he usually lose the match? Well, because he has to deal with heals, and he can't really deal with heals. Like, if he has to deal with a doggy using Glick Wounds, no, it's not terrible for him. If he has to deal with a Flashbomb to the Men-at-Arms, like, nah, he's not gonna win. If he has to deal with a Crusader with Rally to the Flame, he's not gonna win. But if he has to deal with, essentially, like, a Shield Breaker and the Plague Doctor, and the Plague Doctor can't use heals anymore, he's actually gonna have a pretty good time, because he has decent accuracy, right? Especially if he's the last character alive, so he's probably gonna hit that Shield Breaker more often than not. So right now the best play is definitely to just heal the Hellion, because if you don't, I'm gonna kill her immediately. Oh, I'm not even gonna think about it. I don't care that my occultist drops to 0, I don't care what happens here. I will kill that Hellion. I will take my Weakening Curse, and I will implant it on her and take her out. Of course, Vulnerability Hex here does a little less damage. What has more crit chance? They have the same crit chance. This does 33, yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, using either or really is the same thing here. So I will just take out that Hellion, just barely. Yeah, just barely. Nomcook says, oh, I just noticed. That might have been noticing that the Hellion was gonna die there. So yeah, a little bit too late to notice that. But this is gonna be a very fun end of match, I will say. Very, very fun. It's been quite a long match, but this is gonna be good. I'm almost afflicted, which could be a blessing in disguise. I might go abusive and then just drop characters out to 0 left, right, and center. That would be good. That would indeed be good. Men-at-Arms, do not fail me. Also, Connection, do not fail me. Do not fail me either. Please don't tell me that's a desync. That would be terrible. Who do I think wins this? Just in case it's a desync. Yeah, the flame isn't moving. Yeah, this is probably a desync. Yeah, that's really sad. But no, probably a desync. Yeah, I'm gonna tell them. They're asking, oh, the flame isn't moving, did it crash? It's probably desync, but it's okay. It is okay, because I think that my opponents would probably win this. Because Shieldbreaker still has both Serpent Slays, so every use of the Serpent Slay is more dodge, so the Porcupine Men-at-Arms can't hit her quite as reliably. And also two Aegis blocks that I have to go through for each one. That's really difficult to punch through, and she just has to drop one Adder's Kiss, and then probably dropping down to 0. So the Men-at-Arms would just die eventually in this matchup. So if these characters were both at Death's Door, then yes, I would have a pretty good chance. But just that Repulse Men-at-Arms is good throughout the match as kind of like a deterrent, kind of like a deterrence tool. But yeah, how long does it usually take to resync? Oh, you don't know how the Butcher Circus works. I'm gonna tell them infinite. You do not know how the Butcher Circus works. So yeah. Anyway, they just say, oh. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Definitely try out playing with the worst abilities. There's way more characters that I could have used, but I played with 8 characters, and I think that was pretty fun, at least like using their mediocre abilities. I think I went and had a really fun playstyle there with the weird reconstruction, just healing the flashlight out from that store like again and again and again. That's really fun using that. So yeah, anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the matches, and I'll see you again another time soon. Actually, just before that, my opponent wants to make some jokes. What do you call a pile of cats? What? What do you call a pile of cats? They say it's bad joke, so it might be a bad joke, but let's see. What do you call a pile of cats? A meowton. A meowton. I get it because it's a mountain. Yeah, that is a bad joke. That is a bad joke. But stay safe. Yeah. Well, pretty good attempt. And I will see you again another time. Cheers.